why is there a Ballon d'Or shout? Is he really the best player in the world at the moment, or is he in contention?
So, yeah, like sometimes we do say this, and there's this the fact that the recent bias.
Yes.
And we do that a lot.
Recency bias.
So yeah, we just saw that in the last 5-10 games, it's been Lamine.
Yeah.
But then Rafinha is also scoring during that time, but because Lamine has been the shout. So even in the Barcelona team, he's a pivotal player, but he's not the best player. For me, it's still Rafinha.
No.
In that Barcelona team.
I'm with you on this.
I'm with you on this. And then when you now extend it, talking about a Ballon d'Or itself, then I think Rafinha even edges him. There's Ousmane Dembele also as well on one side. Even Kylian Mbappe with his numbers, it should be in the conversation. But then since there's no trophy or team trophy to go with it, then probably not many people will talk about it. There's Mo Salah that defied all the laws this season.
Yeah.
Yes, he might have won only the league, but with the numbers he has, that's astronomical.
Yeah.
There's Gyökeres. Yes, might be playing in a lesser league, but no player has had more goal contribution than him. Over 70
that
this
means
season
you bring
alone.
it to Osimhen if you're talking about goals.
No. The league is not on the same level.
No.
League is 1.5.
Osimhen has a goal contribution of
35.
about 41.
40,
I think
35 goals.
I'm saying
35 goals and 7 assists.
Yeah.
That's
but then that's Gyökeres have 71 goals and assists.
Wow.
So it's like to say, even when he's talking about over all the for national team, for the club. So I'm saying yes, but then Lamine, we always look at that, especially his age, which is a factor a lot of people are putting into this conversation. Yes, at his age, no, you shouldn't be doing this.
You know, see,
you shouldn't have these numbers.
I would never agree.
I'd love to take Toyosi Adebajo's take on this one, but we'll take a break later. At the second half of the show, she will join us, and we'll definitely get back to this. But T-Boy has been thinking of how to. He also say something about this thing because is Lamine Yamal the best player in the world now?
I think this Ballon d'Or has to be one of the most competitive one because almost every week we are seeing new power rankings. Pedri might be #1 this week. You can see Rafinha there.
You mentioned Pedri. That's a name that
that's also a name that should be there. Yeah.
But me personally, I would say that Pedri and Rafinha are better or more instrumental in that Barca team than Yamal.
So no. I do not want to agree.
Okay, let's have your take.
Every player has their importance to the team.
Yeah.
Rafinha with the clutch goals in the first half of the season was like next in after bread and butter. But we can see eye test shows us that Pedri is that is that #1 person in the team. For the first time in his career, he has not missed any game due to injury. And I think now we are basically having to appreciate what the likes of Eden Hazard has done in the past years. We have not, of course, brought him up for Ballon d'Or conversations, but people would say he doesn't have so many goals. But when when you see how this guy plays,
what are you talking about?
I'm talking about Eden Hazard first.
Eden Hazard.
You would see that this guy is very pivotal to way Chelsea plays. The goals might not be plenty, the assists might not be plenty, but without him, the team does not gel. Barcelona, in the second half of the season, Rafinha has not been that top guy. Pedri and Lamine have been holding forth for that team. The goals is not enough. But for someone like Modric, who won the award in 2018, how many goals did he have compared to what likes of Messi and Harry Kane had, or even Ronaldo? Yeah. So I think one way or the other, we might want to be looking at eye tests. If we're going for statistics, of course, Rafinha, Dembele, even Kylian Mbappe deserves it.
See, I've always said something, What we do in football, what a lot of fans do in football is there's a picture I see where there's an elephant and a fish and a monkey. And the lecturer in front of them and says, we are all going to test you by climbing a tree. We cannot be talking about football is not just about scoring goals. Also.
Yes.
If you are talking about goals, where are the keepers? We've now had an award separate from the keepers. And that's why I would always mention, there is nothing like a GOAT footballer. It's impossible until the day you show me a unified metric that you can prove.
There's never one.
If you can prove to me that Cristiano Ronaldo, can anybody out there prove to me that Cristiano Ronaldo is a greater player than Franz Beckenbauer?
No, not at all.
If you don't have a unified metric that you can use and prove to me and tell me that Ronaldinho is a greater player than Ronald Koeman, if you still don't have that thing, then let's forget about the GOAT. Let's talk about positions.
Yeah, I think
GOAT
that
striker,
works.
GOAT defender,
goalkeeper.
GOAT goalkeeper. That's how we should do it.
But
Because now you're talking.
so Mike, I'm sorry that but
Okay.
then even if you're trying to start putting in the position, where do you put a player like Franz Beckenbauer that you mentioned, or Ronald Koeman, who were
can
defender
play
as a
CB
midfielder? as well?
No, their primary position.
Yes,
was-
but we
their
can start with the primary position. Like,
was-
so that's why I would not rate a Trent, no matter what he does.
He's not a right back.
Yes, because see, except he removes his position and says he's not a defender, I will rate you by your primary responsibility.
Yes.
And you know, this one I was coming, I was thinking about utility players. I was like, who's the greatest utility player? I think of players like Zanetti.
He can play anywhere.
You know, these are Javier Zanetti, were players that could at any point in time.
Whenever you say just
the
put
old
them
back
there.
four.
No, if you said, look, he played as a defensive midfielder many times.
Played
He as a right back,
Baba
played as
has
a
even
left
played,
back.
He had even played creative midfield. Went as far as 8. I've seen matches where it's Javier Zanetti. That was
Did
the person, you understand? And so, but you look at the primary position. And so I would, that will come in there. Everybody goes Messi, goes Cristiano Ronaldo, goes. No.
There's a bias
There was
towards,
a keeper.
towards attackers.
There's a keeper that scored over 100 goals.
That's more
you talk
goals than
about
some
Rogerio
strikers.
Ceni.
Yeah.
You talk about
Chilavert.
you know about Jose Luis Chilavert. I'll still remember Nigeria
Ramos
was
has
Paraguay.
over
Yeah,
100
Paraguay,
goals.
that's
Against Peter Rufai. Chilavert won't make this. He won't hang Rufai.
Oh my gosh.
I was praying. Me, I'm in Nigeria. I was praying for Chilavert to score that goal. So that people understand that.
Goalkeepers are good
Some
too.
players they will be say, how can a goalkeeper score 100+ goals? Goalkeeper. And then you are shouting here about this thing, and you are saying goat.
Well, but as long as we are still going towards Ballon d'Or FIFA best,
Yeah.
for me, I would of course pick a Pedri
Okay.
over anybody. A Pedri,
For now,
yeah.
for this
Okay,
season.
Yes, for this season.
Okay.
I just want to throw a name in there,
Yeah.
and it's talking about players. How do you prove that a particular player is better than a particular? There's another 17-year-old in Barcelona, a Pau Kubasi,
Yeah.
who has also
One of
been
the best defenders in the world.
One of the best. That boy plays as left-sided centre back and right-sided left.
Anywhere.
None of the other guys in that team can play that position. If he plays with Araujo, he plays as a left-sided centre back. If he plays with Inigo Martinez,
right.
he plays as the right side. And he's the youngest.
In that squad.
He plays
Makes
most
me
of the
remember
games.
Asensio for Real Madrid.
Yeah, Rahul.
Now, injury carried that one
I was
enter
telling
now.
somebody that football peak age don't they drop. Oh. Now people at 17, 18, 19, they are their peak. You go, so I'm telling
But
you.
no, not for everybody, actually. Not for
I know,
everybody.
I'm just saying on the average. It will shock you that Phil Foden has passed his peak. It will
Was he
shock
ever
you.
at his peak?
Oh, yes, there was a
Yeah, no,
particular
he was a
point.
PFA
2
player
seasons
last year,
ago.
but
PFA
no,
player.
Yeah, the last one was just.
I'm telling you,
was
it will
not
shock you. Say Mason Mount, his peak is like 5 years back.
that one season.
That is peak. I'm telling it's and that's why the conversation with Yamal is coming. How far can this guy go?
No, Lamine will grow.
Can he give us a?
Can he
give us 10, 15 years?
Where's that thing?
10,
I'm
15 years
telling
is a
you,
lot.
it go be like film. Chelsea fans, I know you come for me. Cole Palmer might have passed his peak.
Yeah, that last season might just be his, right?
No. I don't think so.
You can't be saying no. Baba,
I don't think so.
Can Cole Palmer, even with what you saw against the Jew Gardens and Noah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, can Cole Palmer go up against what we saw with the Inter midfield and Barcelona midfield?
Even last season when it was great,
Can he go?
it was not exactly great against some teams. So
Again, I'm talking about the big teams. I'm just saying that look at generally, let's look at the football. When we started watching football, the peak age was 26, 27.
But Mike,
You
we
see
do have
under
players
23s
then. So
being the youngsters.
the Victor Osimhen, the Victor Gyökeres, this is their year. Gyökeres is 26. He's having this.
No, Osimhen peaked at 24.
Osimhen is 25, 26 as well,
26, yeah.
and also he's having one of the best seasons of his life as well. In fact, is the best scoring foreign player in Turkey
in their history.
In their history, so that shows a lot as well. So there are still players in that. I don't want to mention, but there's a particular 31-year-old I just won Bundesliga. So there are players
That one has been in the form of his life for years.
No, I'm saying, yeah, in the 20s, 26, 27, who are still topping the whole thing there.
Rafinha also.
Rafinha is 28, and then this is the best year yet.
Okay, but generally dropping. I mean,
Dembele too.
remember when what's his name now? PK mentioned that in his squad, not because Yamal is not good, but Yamal wouldn't have even seen the chance. Why?
No.
Because of his age.
Yeah.
No, Barcelona were not needing any replacement
Exactly.
at the
He
time.
wouldn't have
then, he
seen
wouldn't
that
have,
chance.
yeah.
So I'm just saying that younger people. I mean, we were talking about haircuts the other day.
Yeah.
That's talking about Nigerian.